Alright guys, welcome aboard. We're going to be flying the FlyJSim 737-200 from Albuquerque to Flagstaff, Arizona. Quick hop here. We got some weather along the route, at least for the departure out of Albuquerque. So let's jump inside and get our plane fired up here. Let's get our ground GPU started up. I'm going to adjust my sound here a little bit, as always. And I think I got it turned up for right now. I'll adjust the sound later on when we start departing. Alright, let's come up here and get our batteries on, get our external or emergency exit lighting. I keep saying external, I don't know why. Get our ground power on. Let's turn up our panel lights a little bit. And let's get our APU fired up here. Hold that for about 3 seconds, or until you start seeing this needle move. There we go. Alright, and it looks like it's going to be a straight shot right over there. It's only about 249 miles, so it should be a quick trip. Initial heading is going to be about 262, so I'm just going to set that right here for our course. 262, and heading also 262. There we go. Let's see here. Let me get my ATIS for Albuquerque. ATIS 118.0. Let's see if I got that down here already. Nope. One more.
Albuquerque International Sunport Information Victor. 2100 Zulu weather. Wind 180 at 10, gust 15, visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 5,500 few, 17,000 scattered, 22,000 broken, temperature 22, dew point 14. Altimeter 3011. Arriving runways 26, 30, departing runways 21, 26, 30. Advise on initial contact you have Victor.
Alright, let's get rid of that. So it looks like we'll be taking off runway 21. Finish setting my altimeter here. Alright, 3010. Alright, that looks good. Let's see if our APU power is up. We'll go ahead and switch over to APU power. Come up here, go to APU Gen. We can turn off the cart here. And let's get set up here. Yaw dampeners on. Take a look at our fuel. We're just going to go with the default. Plenty of fuel there. Nothing in the center tanks. So we'll get this ready for departure. Let's see. Gallery we're going to leave off for right now. Otherwise, this looks good. That looks good. We'll get our smoking lights on. Seatbelt signs on. And we'll turn our window heat on at this time. Hydraulics we'll leave off for right now. Let's come over here and get our Gasper fan. Is that what it says? Yeah, Gasper fan. I'm guessing that's like trim air. We'll get our APU bleed on and our left packs on. Start getting a little cooling here. So this is such a short hop. I think we're only going to go up to like 22,000. 22,000, and let's take a look on my other chart, or my other screen, sorry. Take a look at our altitude at Flagstaff. Let's see. Oops, airport diagram, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, here we go. Wow, ooh, elevation 7,014 feet. It should be interesting. Let's see how we do with that. So 7,000, too far. 7,014, we'll set it right there. Alright, 7,010, that looks good. We'll get our air on, our nav lights on, our beacon on. Come back to my other screen here as I'm poking around. Alright, I think we're ready to push back, so let's get everything started up here. Check that, that's done. Yep, we just gotta hit heading, hold on our flight director. I'm gonna trim that up to about 10. Right there, everything else looks good. Alright, let's go for, actually I gotta take a look. Where's runway 21? Let's see, airport diagram for Albuquerque. Ooh, what am I doing here? Okay, runway 21. Alright, so we're probably going to taxi here. What I'll do is I'll show you what I'm looking at here. Let's do that. Otherwise you're just sitting there waiting. Get my window a little bit bigger here. Alright, so here we go. So we're parked right over here, and we're going to taxi down here. So I think what we're going to do is come to the end, take Charlie, then Echo, right around a 2-1. And while I got this up, I'll show you the weather we got en route here. A little bit of stuff right there. I was hoping to see a little bit more. The real world observation at Albuquerque there has got thunderstorms in the vicinity, light rain, and altimeter settings good, 3010. All right, so we'll see if we run into any of this on the way. All right, get that off the screen. Let's come back over here, do a pushback, and we're going to go the other way. We're going to push back right to there. Looks good.
Round to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Alright, I'm ready, so I'm going to go ahead and call them. I'm going to hit the brake right now.
Round to cockpit, tow is driving up.
Sorry, that'll get rid of our boarding gate there. Let's watch the tow drive up here. Yep, not that far. Yeah, I think I already got my parking brake set. I'm going to double check it though.
All doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect. Set parking brake.
Alright, parking brake is set. Go for it, dude. There we go.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Alright, parking brake off.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
I'll watch them push us back here for a minute. Alright, let's pop into the plane and get ourselves started up here. Okay, so PAC's off, and I think that's it. Throw that over to ground. Start up number 2. Waiting for our N2 right there to come up. And there's about 15. I think the manual actually says 20, so I'll wait for 20. There we go. Fuel on. Put our logo light on while we're at it here. Alright, just waiting for the oil light to go off right there. There we go. Throw number 1 over to ground. Again, just waiting for N2 right here to come up to 20, we'll say today. There's 15 and right about 20. Good enough. Let's go. While we're down here, let's click on our little green tape there. That'll trim us up for takeoff.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Alright, parking brake is set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Let's see if they got the shades down again. Yep. The shades up on these windows. Oh, there we go. Alrighty, we're all started up. Let's go over. Well, we'll tell him to disconnect. Go over to engine power. Gen 1. Put our hydraulics on. Put our static pitot heat on. And let's see here. Get our packs on. APU bleed off.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the left. We'll see you next time. Have a safe flight.
Alright, super. Let's get the APU to off. Everything else looks good up here. Yep. Double checking all the lights. Keep an eye on him. Alright, there's our thumbs up. Good to go. Turn on our taxi lights here. Turn off and taxi. And let's go over here. We're going to set our weather radar over to weather and turbulence. We'll go up to 22,000 feet here. That was our climb out. And I think we're all set. We're ready to taxi here. Let's go ahead and get our flaps down to position 5. And I'm going to pull up our departure card here. Switch that over to 5. That switches our indicators right here, our little airspeed bugs. Alright, we're ready to taxi. Let's get over to the runway. So parking brake off. Let's power her up. Getting ready for departure here. Let's go engines to low in it and get our transponder turned on. TARA. I'm guessing the weather actually looks worse looking at the real world radar. Alright, we're going to come over here and take, what was this, Charlie, I think it was? Kind of cut across here, we're on the apron anyway. Alrighty, and since we're going to be crossing a runway, we're going to go ahead and put our strobes on.
Approaching 08.
And we're coming up to the end of the runway here, so we're just going to keep our strobes on right now. I'm actually going to pop out, double check where we're going. And, yeah, we're going all the way down there. All right. Alright, so we're going to make a turn here. I'm guessing at Albuquerque this used to be a runway here. Yep, that's 2-1. Just wanted to make sure. Alright, we'll let the cabin crew know we're ready for departure. Being them. And all our other lights are on. Just gotta put on our landing lights. Okay, transponder is set. Flaps are set. We'll go landing lights on. Trim is set. We are ready for departure. Okay, so departure briefing, we're going to turn to a heading of 262 after departure. I think that's our runway. Yes, it is. Don't spill your drinks back there.
On runway 21.
Yeah, bring the engines up. Let them spool up, and let's go full power.
Knots. E1, rotate.
Rotating. Okay, got a positive rate. Gear up. Yeah, there's 170 knots. Let's go flaps 2. Coming up to 200 knots, flaps 1. I'm going to go ahead and hit our elevator autopilot. At 110 knots, flaps up, and we'll turn the volume down so you're not trying to hear me over the engine noise. Alright, let's go ahead and make our turn over to 262. Getting a little bit cleaned up in here. Turn our outboard landing lights off. Alright, that's someplace close to 262, I think. Keep an eye on our airspeed there. I'm going to go ahead and nose over just a little bit. Make a little course correction here for 262. I've got my bug right there. Alright, 10,000 feet. Let's get the rest of the landing lights, taxi lights off. We can turn the logo light off. Alright, there's about 262. I'm going to go ahead and hit the autopilot. And I'm going to bring the nose down just a little bit here. Get about a 2,000 foot per minute rated ascent. Let's take a look and see what we see before we jump into the clouds here. Goodbye, Albuquerque. Then we'll check our pressurization, and it's looking good. And engine starters can go to off. And disregard this light here. This is, at least I read, it's a known bug in the plane right here. And that is the stabilizer trim out of something it said, but there's plenty of trim left in here. Seems to do that. Alright, so I'm going to take a look while we're actually cruising up here. I'm going to take a look at the VFR chart and see if we got anything we can tune in here. We do have the Flagstaff VOR. I'm just going to tune that in, and that is 113. Looks like 113.85. Let's see if we can put that in here. 113.8. Whoop! We got an engine fire. Boo! What's our checklist? Let's take a look at the checklist here for engine fire. And start before clear. I'm going to power back just a tad. I know there's a checklist here for engine fire. Okay, thrust lever closed. It's the this engine here. So I'm going to bring that back. Start lever cut off. Let's bring that all the way back. Cut off fire engine. We're going to pull that and turn it. Go ahead and nose over also. Let's keep our airspeed up. Take a look out there. I don't know, I don't see any engine fire. Let's see this. Okay, engine fire pull. I pulled it. If engine light remains lit, engine fire handle rotate. We did that. If engine persists, rotate handle in the other direction. Okay. Well, it's not letting me do anything else. I'm going to kill that just to so we're not freaking out here. Let's keep an eye on our airspeed here as we're cruising up. You'll see, unfortunately, I got to do this with my joystick. They're linked together, but the engine is off. And let's clear that. Double check that. That's kind of interesting. I did turn it, but it doesn't. Let's see, it says turn it the other way. Let me see if I can. Turn it the other way, there we go. I think that got us out. And let's try to level off here. I'm going to bring my power back a little bit. Hold right around here. See if we can maintain airspeed. We've got plenty of airspeed though, so. Alright, well that was exciting. That was the first time that happened. Land at near suitable airport. I want to go to Flagstaff. Alright, let's see if we can come back to Albuquerque. That really is our nearest suitable airport. So what I'm going to do is tune 113.20 is our VOR at Albuquerque. 113. Alright. Yeah, it's for only 30 miles out, so I'm going to go ahead and go back around. Let's make our turn here. We want to go to it on a heading of, sorry, keep on going, about 090, somewhere around there. There we go. Alright, and what I'm going to do is hit VOR lock. That'll get us into the turn. Come over here and drop our altitude down to 5,000. I'm going to take a look at the approach here for runway 21. And unfortunately, all we got is ILSs for runway 3 and 8. And then we got our navs. So let's take a look at runway 8. ILS runway 8. Yeah, that's going to bring us straight in right from the Albuquerque VOR, even though we don't have a crosswind. I think we can deal with that. So, let's see, altitude-wise, looks like we got to get down to about 7,200, so let me bring that up a little bit. Alright, let's continue our checklist right here. We're going to go ahead and power back. And I'm going to lower the nose here and start our descent. We're going to power all the way back here, get a good descent going so we don't increase our airspeed. And bring some spoilers up, get us slowed down a little bit. Try to get us down to about 250. Alright, the rest of the checklist. Electrical load monitor, sure. Fuel cutoff switch is closed. Fuel shutoff switch closed. I think that's what we did. Isn't that the start, engine, fire, thrust? Yeah. Yeah, we already did that. Hydraulic system 8, fluid shutoff. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. That's that one there. Engine bleed switch. Let's get that off. And pack switch if applicable. We'll get that off too. What the heck? Anti-ice closed. Yep, that looks good. Alright, let's keep an eye on our descent here. I think that's it. Emergency landing, 15 flaps. One engine in op. Alright. So we're going to be doing a 15 flap landing. Go ahead and get some spoilers back up here. Let's get ourselves slowed down. And I'm going to go ahead and switch over to a landing. Go for a 15 flap landing. The VREF is going to be 131. Let's get rid of that. Actually, I guess we could fix something here, but we're not gonna mess with that right at the moment. Let's get down to our altitude here. Alright, we're gonna slow our rate of descent here down a little bit. We're 28 miles out anyway, so we're doing pretty good. Alright, spoilers down. Get our airspeed down to a little bit more manageable level there. Alright, so our localizer ILS frequency is going to be, what is it? 111.9. That's for runway 8. I'm just going to switch that over right there. I'm actually going to put it over here just so we can maybe get a reading here on number 2. Make sure that's set correctly. 111.9, 111.9. Yep. All right. And we're going to 7,200 feet here. All right, airspeed's coming down. I'm going to start bringing the power up on our one engine. Try to hold about 130. Pressure low. I wonder what happened there. Well, we got all sorts of weird things happening here. Fuel pump slow. I'm going to go ahead and cross-feed our fuel just in case. I mean, it looks good. Alright, we're coming up to our altitude. We're pretty low to the ground here. So we're going to hold at 7,200. We're going to start making our turn into the VOR here. That'll get us just over this ridge line here. I guess I could have stayed up a little bit higher, but hey, I wasn't expecting an engine fire either.
Too low, terrain.
Alright, we're 18 miles out. Let's hope we pick up our localizer here. 111.9. Seeing if we get that here. Not even picking it up there yet. Alright, and final approach course is going to be 079, so I'm going to set that here. Let's zoom it in. Alright, 079. We'll go right to the VOR here. We'll let that pick that up. Alright, I'm going to bring our power up here. Let's keep our airspeed up. And let's get some lights on here while we're at it, since we're so low. Turn that off just in case. I don't know if it's off or not. Now we got all sorts of little failure lights here, so let's just focus on flying the plane. Let's do a flyby here while we're at it, with one engine out. Yeah, looks like the left engine is out. Alright. Alright, we're 11 miles out from the VOR here, just kind of coming in. And 22 miles out from the actual ILS now, starting to pick that up. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch over to heading hold. So I'm just going to turn that ever so slightly. Go over to heading hold. Flip over to our ILS frequency for runway 8. And we'll go ahead and set that. I think it was 078, 079. Alright, you can see we got to kind of go over a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to flip this over to the VOR lock right now. And that'll bring us on course to the airport. So we are flying the ILS localizer right now. Let's wait until that come in a little bit. Alright, watching our airspeed, we're going to be doing a 15 flap approach to runway 8, which is going to give us a bit of a crosswind. Waiting for our glide slope here to come in. And our airspeed bug was 130, this one right here. 131. Alright, 16 miles out. Just coming over the hill here. So our left engine is dead, even though my throttle's up. It's like I said, it's because I got one throttle, and they're connected. Alright, so there's 14 miles. I'm going to start slowing us down here. We're going to go one flap. One flap, I said. There we go. Let's go 2 flaps. Alright, 5 flaps. Might be a little bit fast for that, but it's okay. I see downtown in the distance. We should start seeing the airport up ahead. Yes, I do. Right, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to approach. Let's see if we get that localizer in at any time. Or, sorry, the glide slope. Alright, 10 miles out. Let's get ourselves stabilized here. So I'm going to go ahead and drop gear right now. And we're going to go to 15 on the flaps. I see the runway there. And it looks like glide slope is coming up right now. Okay, bring that power all the way up. I'm going to let the autopilot fly it here, at least down to the runway a bit. All right, get ourselves slowed up a tad. You put in engine power, man, it just wants to keel over. Alright, so flaps are set for 15. Yep, double checking that. Start slowing up here a little bit, about 7 miles out. Gear is down, 3 green, flaps set. Landing lights are on. I think we're ready to land. We've already declared an emergency and all that good stuff. I'll turn up the volume just a little bit here. Alright, 131 is what we're shooting for on the airspeed. Take a look at downtown Albuquerque as we come by. Again, we do have a crosswind here, wind from the right. Throttling back a little bit, get us down to closer to that 131 airspeed, 141.
Approaching 08.
1,000.
Alright, we'll let it keep going down here on autopilot. I'm going to let it go to about 500 feet and then take it myself. Alright, winds are a little gusty here. Airspeed's jumping up and down a bit. And we're off, drifting to the left a little bit. Okay, autopilot's off. I'm going to go ahead and take it myself.
400.
Ooh, squirrely.
300. 200. Flight slope. 100.
Trying to get over to the runway.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Throttle back. Okay, no reversers. Spoilers up. That was fun. Maximum braking here. Yeah, I think I popped a tire or something on there. Alright, we're not even going to pull off the runway here because we are the emergency. Let's see what happened here. Boy, it felt like we popped a tire. Maybe it was just my view in here is a little skewed. Alright, let's go ahead and let's taxi off the runway here. Get our spoilers down. Flaps up. Well, this thing needs some power to get moving on one engine. Alright, we'll get off the runway right here. Let's get our landing lights. Well, we never put our landing lights on, did we? Alright, landing lights off. Back off. Yeah, I know. Trying to power it up just to taxi is taking quite a bit of power here. We'll pull off right over here and do a replay of that. That wasn't the flight I wanted to do, but, well, that's what we got. Alright, there we go. We'll let the tug tow us back from here. So let's go parking brake on. And let's jump into a replay. Boy, that was weird. Well, it wasn't weird. It was it was a bit sketchy. after disengaging the autopilot there, I had to definitely do a little bit of flying. We'll do a couple of replays of that approach. Let's get backed up over here, right to about there. Alright, we'll hit play, see what that looked like out the window to start out with. Not sure what that banging is, but let's back up and do a replay from the runway. not pretty. Yeah, I accidentally touched the thrust reversers for a second, just out of habit. I have a button on my throttle where as soon as I touch down, I hit the thrust reversers. That's why you saw that thrust reverser kind of come up a little bit. And then I was like, no, wait a minute. Stop. Don't want to die. All right, one more replay, and then, well, I guess we'll call that a short flight. Let's see what we got here. What can we do? We'll do a tower view. Well, that's a runway view again. Let's play that. There we go. Oh, there's my tower view. There we go. Alright, right about there. I think I disengaged the autopilot. Probably could have done a better job of handling the plane there if we didn't have that crosswind, but I was kind of more concerned about having a long runway. That runway 21's pretty short. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed that. That was kind of fun, I guess. Live and learn. We'll watch it come to a stop there. Until next time guys, take care. Safe landings. Bye.